Hey guys, how's it going? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I wanted to make a video about this like a while back because I thought that it was a really important thought. But like I've been having a really rough time wrestling my depression and just dealing with life stresses and things right now. So I hadn't been making as many videos or anything, but I've got a couple of weeks off of work because um, of some stuff I'm not going to get into right now. My boss can't afford to pay me because they lost a lot of money on a job. So, and I'm the new guy, so I'm just sitting at home now. But I was thinking the other day, I was like thinking about how it is that we could save the world, right? Because the world right now is um, kind of chaotic. And I was thinking, like, most people are busy, right? Like, most people are struggling to pay rent or their mortgage or whatever. And most people, unfortunately, have to work a lot, even though we could probably automate most of this stuff now. And so I was thinking, like, how is it that we could overcome all of these things, all these problems that we have, like as a society or on a bigger scale, like globally as a species, because we really have a lot of problems right now, like as a species and as a society, but like as a species. And I was thinking, you know, one of our biggest advantages as a group, right? Like right now, is that we have the internet. And that means, and I mean, like most people, I think, in the world now have some form of the internet. Like, I know in China, they've got some like kind of strict rules. And in other places in the world, they have some like strict censorship and rules and stuff. Like, you can't get on certain sites, you can't have certain apps and all that stuff. But and like North Korea, I don't think you can get on the internet hardly at all. I don't know much about North Korea, but it sounds horrific over there. But for most of us, um, we can all pretty much communicate. Like, language barriers really aren't shit. We have like translators, we have like AI now, we have like tons of ways to effectively communicate with other people. This chair is really squeaky and it's kind of distracting me, but um, don't let it bother you because it's just my chair. I tend to move around a little bit when I talk. But I was thinking that like that really is probably our biggest advantage um as a species right now, is that we can literally all, almost all of us, communicate and share information, which is huge. Like it's I think I don't think that a lot of people really realize how big that is. Like, how much of a huge deal it is that you can learn from and teach and share information with people all over the world right now. I was thinking that if if we could be really careful not to misinform each other, but share information and educate each other online, like on purpose, like intentionally go out on the internet and educate each other, like kindly, like my hair is doing all kinds of all kinds of stuff right now. But like educate each other. I think that that is probably one of the best ways that like anybody can change the world right now. Like I feel like, imagine if more people, like maybe you reach 100 people, you know, imagine 100 people know even just some of what you know. You know what I mean? Like what? Like imagine that you add your knowledge to 100 other people, even just like 2% of what you know and what you've experienced, and like what you've seen when you go out into the world, and it's useful information. You know what I mean? Like imagine the compounding effect of that. You know what I mean? Because those 100 people all have social circles, and they can spread that information, and they naturally will. You know what I mean? Like memetics has been a big thing ever since the internet took off. You know, like when I was in like high school, you know, because I was born in like 1990. And so like we didn't have the internet growing up. Like we did eventually get it when I was maybe 9 or so, but it was like dial up. It was like really slow. It would take like an hour sometimes to load a web page. We had a cord house phone for the longest time, like up until I was like in high, like getting like in the latter part of my high school years. We had a corded phone. I think. I think it doesn't matter, but like we had a corded house phone where you had to like sit or stand next to the phone, and there was like a long wire, but you had to be next to the receiver on the wall. You know what I mean? Or on the nightstand, or the table or the desk or whatever. I don't remember what it was. We had a bunch of different house phones, you know, throughout my growing up, but we we didn't really. I don't think that most people on the planet were really able to communicate with each other on a scale like this that we have now until I was probably an early adult, like in my early adult years, young adult years, you know. And now we have memes, you know, and like everybody knows what a meme is. Like you get on Facebook and like half of your feed is just memes. And what a meme is it's basically a mind virus, right? And you hear like virus and you think, oh, it's a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be a bad thing if it's like misinformation, or if it's just something that's not very accurate but it sounds good, and so people are going to repeat it even though it's not really that helpful. But like if if you have an idea and you're pretty sure that you're right about it, you know what I mean? And I mean, like, you have evidence to back yourself up. Like you're sure that you're right about this thing, or you're at least reasonably sure. You know, because we can't be perfect with our information and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to take everything that everyone says with a little bit of a grain of salt. But if you can be relatively sure about what you're saying and spread that information, more times than not, your perspective on things is probably going to be at least like an acceptable, helpful, at like a reasonably helpful degree. You know what I mean? You can probably really, really help people and really, really help the world by kind of proxy, just by sharing things on the internet that you know about. You know what I mean? Like experiences that you've had. and perspectives that you have on things that other people might not have. And I realize that like most people are already doing this on the internet to one degree or another, right? So but doing it absent-mindedly and doing it intentionally are two different things. Like what I'm saying is that you one of the best ways that I can think of, at least, to help the world and to make the world a better place and to change the world is to increase other people's knowledge and information and give them information that you have. You know what I mean? Because it compounds our effectiveness as a species to make the other individuals in the species smarter. You know what I mean? Like the smarter each individual person in the group is, the better off we all are. You know what I mean? Like if you know first aid like the back of your hand, and it's just something that you have studied a lot and you really have a good grasp on it, and you make like say a YouTube video explaining first aid to people, that could save somebody's life one day. You know what I mean? Like if you understand how to do chest compressions or um the Heimlich maneuver or whatever, and you put that out onto the internet, and somebody stumbles upon that on their like lunch break or whatever, and they really take that information in because you communicate it well or whatever, and then they have a coworker that has a heart attack or chokes on a chicken nugget or whatever, that could really that could save somebody's life. Like that could really help somebody. Or if you have had some kids and you really understand childcare because you have years and years of experience with it, and you share some of what you know in a blog or a YouTube video or whatever, that could really help like a new parent who wouldn't. I mean, they would have probably found the information somewhere anyway, but like not in the way that you would deliver the information. You know what I mean? Like you might um, be able to deliver that information to that person in a clearer way than someone else would, or in a more specific way or whatever, specific to you as an individual. You know, or if you like you're just like really good at mechanical engineering or you know whatever, gardening, any 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 subject really, like if you know something, you can put that out there because that's like the era that we live in. You know, like we live in, I think people have been calling it like the age of information or something like that. I don't know, but we can really, like if you've been sitting around like I have wondering how you can make the world a better place, I think that this is it. Like I think that this is probably one of the biggest ways that we can help each other and change the world for the better, you know, for each other, but also for the next generation. You know, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. Gen Z, a lot of them are grown now, but Gen Alpha now, they're coming up, and the world's a mess right now. You know what I mean? And I think that there's ways, without even putting that much effort into it or time or you know, without having to invest too much of your energy and your day, that there are ways that you can make the world better just by communicating on the internet effectively. You know what I mean? I think that that was the whole idea. I think that that's all I had to say. I think. I hope so. But if not, then I might just make another video or something. But if you like the video, please like it and subscribe, because that helps me a lot. I'm trying to get monetized so that I can have some extra money coming in so that I can do some other things. Um, Me and my brother are trying to make a video game, and I just have not had the time and the energy to work on it very much because I've been really busy doing other things. But I really hope that y'all have a good day or night or whatever it is whenever you're watching this video. Christmas is coming up. If you don't see another one of my videos before Christmas, I hope that you have a Merry Christmas or whatever uh, holiday that you celebrate. I hope that it's happy, and I hope that it's nice. Um, I hope that everybody has a good new year, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.